Dana White says Chimaev might be the next title contender. Dana White believes a welterweight title fight between Kamaru Usman and Khamzat Chimaev could take place if both win their upcoming fights. Usman will defend his title against Leon Edwards in Salt Lake City this Saturday, while Chimaev will headline next month's UFC 279 event against Nate Diaz, while Edwards will get his long-awaited chance to exact revenge after his December 2015 loss to Usman. Diaz will get the final fight of his UFC deal at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Edwards and Diaz are the underdogs in both fights, which is why many fans believe they will face defeat in the octagon. Yet, White has asked the public not to get ahead of themselves since he believes that in the world of the UFC, anything is possible.
Which, by the way, I did a bunch of media today, and everybody's counting Nate Diaz out. These are the kind of stories. It's almost like you were just saying to me earlier. It's like people are counting Leon Edwards out. You can't count anybody out. Look at what happened here tonight with some of the underdogs. In this sport, man, you never know what's going to happen. Anything is possible.
Well, if Nate gets that victory, do you guys revisit and say, Nate, do you want to come back, or do you just let that be one and done?
I have no idea. I mean, we'll see how this thing plays out.
Again, I can see where some people are like, Dana, don't ever change, but you listened to the stories tonight afterwards, and that's what got Jose Johnson signed. Do you think you're going to make a point to try to listen to more stories afterwards?
Well,
I know you're busy. You don't get
I don't know. I don't know. That just sort of happened tonight. That's the way it played out. And like I told you, I liked everything about Haley, but I didn't listen to her interview. And some I do, some I don't. Just so happened I listened to that one, and that kid got me.
Francis Ngannou echoes Luke Rockhold's fighter pay complaints. Ngannou has recently expressed his unhappiness over his UFC contract and has been informed that he only has one fight left before his contract ends. He agrees with Luke Rockhold that fighters should be paid more money. However, after Jake Paul's controversial statements, other fighters have joined the outcry that they are not being paid enough. Unfortunately, Ngannou is disappointed with the promotion's payout and the refusal to let him participate in boxing fights. Following Rockhold's comments, Francis Ngannou took to social media to express his support for the former champion's opinion. He also sentenced, "Listening to Luke's interview was very pertinent. A lot of things that nobody is talking about it, and the company just rolls with it. Fighters are ripped off with sponsorship. It's a huge source of revenue for us, but the company keeps exploiting that for their own benefit. I understand that the sport needs to look good with uniforms, but we should at least have a right for a minimum of 2 approved sponsors for in the octagon. Last year, I lost a deal of over $1 million from a crypto exchange because of the partnership with Crypto.com. What do I got from it? Inflation is up. As long as the underpayment of fighters remains a constant problem, we can expect more and more voices to start adding to the complaints." Kamaru Usman says he would fight Jon Jones at light heavyweight. Kamaru Usman is a fighter who is not afraid to do things that have never been done before in mixed martial arts. In 2022, he challenged top boxer Canelo Alvarez to a boxing match. And recently, he has expressed interest in pursuing the UFC 205-pound title. In a recent interview, Usman had made it clear that he has no intention of spending the rest of his career at welterweight, and he longs to go for a title fight in a bigger division. After being asked if he would be willing to face Jon Jones, the 35-year-old Nigerian has stated that he would be willing to do so if the money is right. However, he didn't seem to be too excited about the idea of the fight.
Another one over here. You've mentioned that story of you seeing Jon win the title, and then that kind of inspired you to pursue this MMA. If he came back down to 205 and you were up there, is that a fighter that you would not want to fight just based on your friendship?
Hey, we gotta chill with these scenarios now. Jon is Jon. He's big as hell. He's big as hell, which is why he can easily make that transition to light heavyweight. If the money's right, I'll try my luck. But Jon is great. Jon is a fantastic competitor, and definitely in that conversation is the best ever.
Dana on Kamaru Usman fighting at light heavyweight. After Kamaru Usman hinted at moving up a weight class to capture the light heavyweight belt and become a 2-weight UFC champion, Dana White has weighed in on the matter. according to Dana. That's crazy. Yeah, he's never said that to me. But, I mean, when you look at those guys, you're looking at Jiri Prochazka, Glover Teixeira, Jan Blachowicz, Magomed Ankalaev. I mean, these guys are fucking monsters. Yeah, I think that's a bad idea.
Let me ask you about Kamaru. He's saying he wants to go up to 205 pounds. I mean, I commend the confidence. This guy wanted to box Canelo as well, but I mean, those are monsters at 205. So when you hear a guy say that, I mean, has he talked directly to you about it? And do you think, wow, that's amazing that he wants these challenges? Or do you think, what are you doing, bro? That would be crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. You know, he's never said that to me. But, I mean, when you look at those guys, you know, you're looking at, you know, Prochazka, Glover, Jan, Magomed. I mean, these guys are fucking monsters. Yeah, I think that's a bad idea.
White would seem to believe that Usman should not change weight classes. However, it remains to be seen what the welterweight champion decides to do in the next months. Leon Edwards doesn't believe Kamaru Usman is the number one pound for pound right now. Edwards is set to rematch Usman in the main event of UFC 278 to end the championship reign of the Nigerian Nightmare. Although Usman has been dominant in the UFC, he doesn't believe the champion is the best pound-for-pound fighter. All this talk about pound-for-pound, I don't see it. I don't see it in his fights. I don't see it in his techniques. He's a very good fighter. He's improved. Edwards said at the UFC 278 Media Day. I'm not going into this blind flight thinking he's another fighter, but I just don't see it.
Do you think it's easier for you to kind of ignore all that stuff because you've been in there with him before and you know he's just human and it's not this crazy thing that you're not expecting?
Yeah, for sure. Like all this pound for pound and all this, I just don't see it. I didn't feel it in the fight. I don't see it. I don't see it in his techniques. I just don't see it. You know, he's a very good fighter. He has improved, and I'm not going in this fight blinded, thinking, "Oh, this is another wrestler again." It's not. But yeah, I just don't see the pound for pound thing.
Israel Adesanya advises Rockhold to wrestle Costa at UFC 278. UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya has been advising middleweight fighter Luke Rockhold. Rockhold is set to face Costa in the co-main event of UFC 278 taking place this Saturday in Salt Lake City. According to Adesanya, Rockhold should take Costa down before the fight even starts. He also said, "Luke, start wrestling straight away." Costa, though, early one is dangerous. His hips, I remember Joel, same thing. Joel tried to take down Costa, and Costa had the overhook and just wizarded him and got back up, and they smiled at each other. But Luke, if he can wrestle him and get him tired, wear those muscles out. Luke, try to wrestle him straight away. Do what I did, tip his legs, establish leg kicks a little bit. But start wrestling straight away and make him tired. Make him second guess. Make him think he can be taken down, or there's a threat of being taken down.
I'd say Luke should take him down.
Yeah.
Luke should start wrestling straight away. Costa, though, early on.
Dangerous, right?
Yeah, and also his hips. Like, I remember when Joel, same thing. You all try to take him down. You all try to take him down.
Do they all go to the same class or something?
You all try to take down Costa, and Costa had the overhook or whatever. Was it overhook, and then just wizard him, and they go back up and smile at each other. But Luke, if he can get him down, or even just wrestle him, get him tired, wear those muscles, wear them out. I say, Luke trying to wrestle him straight away. Do what I did, keep his legs, establish their leg kicks a little bit, but start wrestling him straight away and make him tired, make him second guess, make him know that, he can be taken down, or there's a threat of being taken down.
Adesanya was responsible for handing Costa his first loss in September 2020 to retain his title, so he knows what he's talking about. It will remain to be seen if Israel's advice manages to come in handy for Rockhold in his next fight. If you want to know the latest UFC news, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications bell, and click the like button, so you don't miss any details about the upcoming fights. Thanks for watching. See you soon.